This is a story the time my mother whooped my ass because I got caught sneaking out to go see some niggas. Like, this time I was 16, but you know when you're 16, you be thinking you grown. With this nigga that I was talking to, we was talking for a little minute, but he was 20. And I lied and told him I was 18. Shit getting serious, so I told my mother about him, and I'm thinking she gonna be happy for her baby. Ended up telling her how old he was. She almost smacked the smile off my face. She talking about something, I can't fuck with him, I can't see him or whatever because he too grown. Now my mother don't play that, so I gotta tread lightly. I'm like, alright, but trust, I'm seeing my nigga. So I start sneaking out every single night to go see him. I'm skipping school, all that. So I'm thinking I'm slick until one motherfucking night. So the nigga I'm fucking with, we gonna call him Mike. And we gonna call his homeboy LJ. So Mike called me one day, he like, yeah, I'm ready to slide on you, but I got LJ with me. I know this supposed to be like a little two-man, so I called my best friend. We gonna call her Lisa. Now mind you, these niggas are under the impression that I'm 18. So they thinking my homegirl of age too. Fuck no, she's 16. She should have put us on Beyond Scared Street. On the phone with Lisa, I'm like, listen, I got a two-man for niggas. You trying to slide? She like, fuck yeah. I give her the rundown. They 20, you gotta lie about your age. She said, all right, babe. So I hang up on her, I call Mike back. While we on the phone, I show LJ Lisa. He like, oh yeah, she pretty. How old is she? 19. Mike like, all right, bet, I'm on my way. Me and Lisa gotta figure out how we race sneak out because our peoples don't play that shit. I don't know how, but we both made it out slick as fuck. We get in the car, I see the drinks, the garden, we lit. He's chatting on the way there, we make it to Mike crib. We get in the crib, we booed up, I'm thinking it's a movie. We up for hours, chilling, talking. How could it go wrong? Let me tell you how. It's a Saturday night, I gotta be home by 5 a.m. for church. I check the clock, it's 4:30. I go over there, I tap Lisa. Dummy, get up. She crossfaded, can barely even open her damn eyes. She like, what? Get up, it's time to go. This bitch gonna look at me with one eye open, talking about, I'm not going. The fuck you got going on? Get the fuck up. She get us sitting up a little bit. Bro, I'm not going, I'm chilling. I'm staying here. You can go here. Me and Mike looking at this bitch like she crazy. Like, nigga, what? She get to trying to get aggressive. She get to push me and shit like, bro, I'm not going. Move, I'm chilling. Bitch, you better back the fuck up. And I'm really not trying to leave her because that's my homegirl. But bitch, you playing. So I say one last time, get up. She pushed me. I'm leaving you here, bitch. Like, I'm chilling. I'm not leaving, bitch. You can dip. Bitch, did you forget we ain't supposed to be here? I'm your ride here and home. I'm getting amped up. This bitch still on the couch drunk as fuck. Even the nigga that she on looking at her crazy like, Stan. Mike said, all right, look, I'm going to drop you off so you can make it home one time. And I'm going to come get her in like an hour. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'm really hesitant to leave her. But if this bitch say one more thing to me, I might hit her. So boom. Homeboy like, all right, bet. I'm going to make sure she's straight. I get in a call with Mike. He straight take me home. As soon as I get in the crib, slump. My mother ended up going to church without me. I'm in that bitch sleeping in. I'm asleep till like 3 p.m. I wake up feeling great. I look at my phone. Bitch, I got like 130 messages. About like 20 missed calls. Fucking screenshots. Messages in bulk. Bitch. And I'm ready to just turn the fuck back over. As I'm turning, boom, I get a call. It's Mike. Hello? All I hear is, when the fuck you was going to tell me how old you was? What you mean by that? When the fuck you was going to tell me how old you was? Bro, I'm 18. Like, what is you talking about? Bro, shit went down while I was asleep. Mike talking about, look, I fell asleep. I forgot to get your homegirl. Why the fuck her mother filed a missing persons report? They found her ass at my crib. They talk about she's 16. Gasp! You talk about you 16 too. You told her to lie and say she was 19 so she could come outside. What? No, that's not true. I'm lying with all 10 toes on the ground, bitch. I'm scared. But she lying, bro. She been lying her whole life. Like, that bitch is a liar. I'm 18. So boom, I think I'm lying so good, he started believing me. So now we just on the phone chatting it up. I done damn forgot about the whole situation. I'm on that bit like, yeah, so what's our kid's name's gonna be? I'm thinking I'm ready to get off scotch-free. Till I get another call. It's Lisa. I straight answer that bitch, cause bitch, I got some words for you. Why is her father? Before I can even get a word out of my mouth, he talk about, you whore! Whore! He talk about, you got my daughter out here doing these activities, da-da-da. She don't even do shit like that. She ain't never been a whore till she met you. So now, bitch, we going back and forth. I'm like, well, she had free will. Your daughter wanted to be a whore. Just say, you want to come outside with the niggas? She said, yeah. Your daughter is going. He like, I will make sure your mother's notified. What? But you know, I gotta stay nonchalant. I can't let him know that fazed me. He still trying to yell in my ear. Boop, boop, boop. Fuck my face. I straight bang it. I call Mike. I'm like, yo, why her father just called me trying to fake air me? Now, Mike, he a street nigga. He don't play like that. So he like, oh, that's what he on? I bet. All right, so later on that night, Mike slide to me with LJ. We straight go to Lisa crib. Now, they thinking I'm ready to get active with this nigga. Hell no, I'm trying to smooth this shit out. You talk about mothers, you gonna tell my mother. So boom. I straight knock on the door. Father answered, he already fuming in the face. He mad as fuck. I'm trying to explain this shit to him. He like, get the fuck off my property. I'm still trying to tell him, like, no, it's not what you think. He like, get off my property before I call the police. Police? Bye. I turn around, I'm trying to walk away. Why does nigga grab my arm? Like, what the fuck is you doing? Get the fuck up on me. He like, no, since you think you grown, you should have came up here. Now I'm calling the police. They gonna come get you. So boom, my nigga, he straight hop out the whip. Mike snatched him away from me. He like, don't ever touch my shorty again or shit gonna get wicked. I'm standing behind him like the bees of the trap music video. I'm like, yeah, shit gonna get wicked. He take me to the car. I'm yelling at the car because I'm feel like big dog now. I'm talking my shit. They calm me down or whatever. All right, Mike, like, you hungry? Like, I'm gonna go get you something to eat real quick. Calm you down. So he take me to McDonald's. He go in there to give me the food. Me and LJ chopping it up, talking about what just happened. Why the fuck in the rearview mirror I see red and blue lights coming to the car? I'm like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I know this nigga really ain't just called 12. He did. Boom, they come to the window. I rolled that bitch down. I'm like, yes, officer. He giving me the rundown like, we just got a call somebody was trespassing on property and threatening people. I'm like, what? No. Even I did. I'm telling you, yeah, we got into a little argument, but I was just angry at the time. It won't happen again. Officer, like, you can get arrested for shit like that. Don't do it again. I'm like, all right, I won't. Boom, he walk away. I'm like, all right, bet. All this shit done happened outside of the car. Niggas like, where the fuck is Mike? It's no way he's still in the McDonald's. I hop out the whip, I go in there. This nigga Mike flirting with the cashier. Look at him, dead in his face. I'm like, Mike! He look at me. He keep flirting. I couldn't any spaz. There was too much going on. I had to walk away. I walk out the McDonald's, head hanging. I'm in the car, sad as shit, overstimulated. I'm pissed. My stomach growling. I'm like, bro, it can't get no worse than this. It did. Because as my head is hanging low, ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. It's my mother. Please, bro, it's too soon. I can't take this right now. I forgot all about her. I ignore that bitch, bro. I can't. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. It's her again. I hop out the car and I answer, but I'm quiet like I'm a scam likely. She ain't even take a breath before she started screaming. Bro, she yelling in gibberish and Morse code, but the last thing she said was clear as day. When you get home, your ass is grass. I'm scared to go home. I'm ready to go turn myself into the police. Mike finally come out to McDonald's. He get in the whip. I look to the left for some salvation. Why this nigga ain't got no food in his hand? I'm like, bro, where the food? Oh, I forgot. No food, no man, no peace. I'm like, bro, fuck it. We gotta go and we gotta go now. Take me home. So he's speeding. I ain't saying shit to him. We pull up to my crib. I almost told him go the other way. So I'm like, all right, I'm ready to just go in the house and take this ass whooping. I didn't even make it out the car. Why I see somebody storming from the other side of the house to the front yard. It's my mother. She was waiting outside. I had to hop out before she reached the car. I'm like, drive. She's like, no, don't go nowhere. I get out the car. She airing me out, embarrassing me. I'm thinking that's it. No. She walked to the car and get to talking to them. I'm watching the conversation through the window. I already put on a hella pair of pants. You ain't gotta tell me twice. They give my mother the whole spill. Talking about how I lied about my age. I've been out seeing him every single night, skipping school to see him. I just had my young ass homegirl out rat. My mother telling them everything too. Nah, she really 16. She in school. She a young ass broad. So is the homegirl. They both 16. I see them pull off. My mother turn around. I ain't never seen her that mad. It was a mad with a smirk like a... I ran upstairs. She opened the door. She ain't see me. She beating up the steps. She opened my room door. She ain't even give me a second. Why she start whipping my ass like it was a timer on? No break, no warm up, no words. Just straight. This is the ass whipping of a century. After this, I think I got grounded for like a whole year. He took everything. I ain't see freedom till I graduated. And my man, I never heard from him again. I finally got my phone back. He blocked my ass. I called him over another number. He like, hello? I said, it's me. Boop, boop, boop. And that was it. I never do that shit again.
Story time on how me and my friends almost got killed at a function last weekend that actually turned out to be a secret foreman that we did not know about. So it was me, my friend Gabby, my friends Ava and Kaylee. We all went out. My friend Ava was in charge of finding the function this week, so she got on our Snapchat and she found a bunch of different ones, but we were going to go to the nearest one first, and then we were going to kind of hop to each one. So we'll name this guy Ted. Ted seemed very sweet and innocent, so we were like, it's not a big deal. He was like, how many girls you got? We were like, oh yeah, we've got this many girls. He was like, okay, there's a bunch of people over here. There was not a bunch of people over there. Heads up. But basically, we were all mostly sober. Like, most of us in the car were sober. I was sober, and so I was like, I don't want to be normal. Like, I'm completely sober, but like, I am just pretty extroverted person, and I really didn't care for these people much. Like, I don't know, like, I didn't really care about what they thought of me. So I wanted an alter ego. So I created this, like, persona. Her name was Darcy, and she was like country or whatever. Oh my gosh, my hair's so huge. 1 second. Okay, so I was gonna go into this place, like, with the persona of Darcy. She had a country accent, she was from Texas, like, it was just cute, it was fun. It just gave us something to laugh at, basically, and just, like, you know what I mean, I could really say whatever I wanted, and if I wanted to leave, like, I'm not Jada, I'm Darcy, so... So we get there, and there's actually only, like, 2 people there, 2 men, and they were like, oh, we've got more people coming, which was weird, because they already said they had people there, so it was just like, whatever. So I'm chatting it up, I'm trying to make conversation. I got stuck with Ted. Ted wasn't incredibly attractive, but also I wasn't Jada, so it didn't really matter, you know what I mean? So basically, I was not going to talk to these men after this. I'm gonna put this on real quick, and I'm sorry, because I'm gonna look absolutely insane. Okay, Alright. What I was saying was, don't pay attention to this. Just pretend it's not on me, okay? It appeals. I feel like everyone, this is common knowledge since it's so popular right now, but it appeals, I promise. Okay, but, so we get there, everything's fine, I'm stuck with Ted, whatever. The world's not ending because I don't really like any of these men to begin with, but my friends were like, you're gonna get Ted tonight since you're Darcy, and I was like, fine. So... I'm talking to Ted, I'm chatting it up, and then some more people show up, and there was a cuter guy. He wasn't ugly. I thought he was pretty cute. We'll call him... Hold on. Okay, we're gonna call this dude Chad, because he does look like a frat guy. Like, that's what he kind of, like, that was his whole, like... get up, I feel like, was just like, he was like muscular or whatever, but he had a really creepy smile. Not that that mattered, but like, just keep that in mind. So bro comes in, and I can tell he's like looking at me, like, you know what I mean? He's trying to chat with Darcy, like a lot, like really trying to chat it up with Darcy, and I was like, like whatever, why not? I'm Darcy, I can really do whatever I want. So I'm chatting it up with him, and then Gabby's like looking at him like, oh, like a familiarity type of thing. Like my friend Gabby, she's like looking at him, I can tell she like kind of knows who he is, and I'm like, but she's like weird about it. But so I'm like, what's going on? And she was like, they asked, do you know this girl, to Gabby, because she said that she was from this college that they knew of, and she was like, that's my roommate. And they're like, what in the world? So Chad just starts going on about how this girl ruined her high school experience, and wasn't giving details or anything, but it was like, what the heck? Like, you know this girl, this was Gabby's roommate, by the way, like if I did not already say that, like, why are you trying to talk bad about her in front of us? Like, what? But thankfully, eventually things start to mellow out, which actually not thankfully, they probably shouldn't have mellowed out, but they did mellow out. And Ted was like, hey, I want to go to the gas station and get some food, like, who wants to come with me? And I wasn't going to go at first, but then he was like, I'll let you drive the Tesla. And I'm from a small town, I've never driven a Tesla, this is like probably the coolest experience of my life, so I was like, yes, Kaylee, will you come with me? So me and Kaylee leave, like, no one's really like against it, so we just leave. We go with Ted and Chad, okay? So fast forward a little bit, we are driving for a bit. I was like, okay, I'm done with this, because like it was cool for a second, but really not all that it's cracked up to be. So I'm just like, okay, you can drive, I'm done. So he drives us, and Chad's in the back seat, Ted is driving since it's his car, and Ted is like basically is like flirting with me, like trying to like put his hand on my leg, and I was like, you know what I mean? And then I've got Chad in the background, like, also flirting with me and being like, my mom would love your country accent, because, you know, remember, I'm Darcy, like, I'm really playing it up. And I was like, oh yeah, like, whatever. And then he was like just flirting with me, basically. I mean, at this point I felt like a hot commodity, like, I'm not gonna complain, like, whatever. But we're going to this gas station, and we drive to this abandoned building, and I was like, what in the world is going on? And they were like, oh, it's weird that the GPS took us here. And I was like, Kaylee? Like, she's in the back seat with the other guy. I'm like, so me and Kaylee are looking at us weird. And at the same time, we get a text from Gabby saying, you guys need to get back here right now. Things are going down, basically. We need to leave. The worst part about this, though, is that my text messages are showing up on this Tesla screen. So we are like, me and Kaylee are just like, and another worst part is that, the one guy is starting to like catch up onto my act that I'm not actually Darcy, because I said I was from Amarillo, and he was like, oh, where's that? I've been to Texas. I was like, oh, it's like really down south. Bro looked it up. It's the furthest north possible. Okay, so then I text Ava after my phone's disconnected from the car, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna pretend that your dad is angry. So I'm telling them, I'm like, oh guys, we gotta go back like right this minute, because Ava's dad is so angry right now. We have to go, like blah blah blah. And they're like, are you sure? Like, and we're still at this abandoned building. And I'm like, yes, we gotta go. And they're like, okay. So it's weird that they complied, since they took us to a freaking abandoned building, but they complied pretty well. So we were like getting taken back to this place. And then again, we're not getting any information out of our friends. They just said we need to get back immediately. So we get back to the place, and then we're like, okay, we gotta go. Like, something's going down. Gabby's like, okay, guys, I'm getting a call from my dad, so I need to leave. I'm gonna go out to the car real quick and take this phone call, basically. Things are getting awkward at the place. Chad asked for my Snapchat, so I had to go on his phone and random Darcy girl. So if you got a Snapchat from this guy, I'm so sorry. But, basically Ava's like, look, giving me the eye, like, we gotta go now. So I'm like trying to make up an excuse to go out there, you know, without them like catching on. And I was like, hey, I feel like Gabby's been out there for a while now, like, we need to go in. Like, I don't know how they understood, like, fell for this accent, but they did. And they were like, we know what's gonna happen now. And we were like, what's gonna happen now? Like, so we walk out, and they're like, see you never. And I was like, Chad's giving me the dirtiest look. He's like crazy eyes, bro, crazy eyes. Okay, so then we just all sprint out, like, it's game, like, we're going, we gotta go now, like, they've caught on. And like, there's such an eerie feeling in the air, like, my friends know something that we don't. So we get in the car, and my friend Gabby hands me the phone, and lo and behold, it's Chad's entire CaseNet history. Bro's got charges for multiple times. Assault. Like, insane things to have charges for. And it's recent. Like, there's multiple, and they're all recent. So we are literally running it out of here. We parked down, like, probably, like, 8 blocks, mind you. Remember that. We're 8 blocks down. The story does not end here. We're just debriefing, like, far away from this house. And we're, like, freaking out, like, oh my gosh, like, we were hanging out with and we should have known better. Like, this is our bad. We need to do more research, and we are now. We've lived and we learned. But, yeah.
I flew across the country to surprise the guy I was dating long distance, and it turned into the most tragic thing ever. Almost 5 years ago during COVID, I was living in Arizona, and Arizona was pretty much open, so we decided to go out to the bars and have some fun for the night. People were coming from all over to visit because we weren't closed like other states, so there were bachelorette parties all over in Scottsdale, and people just on trips to visit. My friends and I are sitting up at the bar, and this guy approaches me, and I look at him and I'm like, oh my god, he was super cute. We start chatting, and he offers to buy me a drink, and we are immediately hitting it off. But I pretty much knew from the start that he likely wasn't from Arizona because he had a little bit of a twang to his voice. I learned that he is from Kentucky, but I'm like, we are just hitting it off. So this is love. I quickly reminded myself, Taylor, snap out of it. This man does not live here. That never goes well. That night, his friends and my friends, we all hung out, and then the entire rest of his trip, we hung out every single day. Then he actually ended up extending his trip too, so that we could still hang out even longer. I was like, great, I'm getting attached to this guy, and he's gonna leave. It gets to the last day of him being there. I drive him to the airport, and he tells me he promises that he is gonna FaceTime me when he gets back to Kentucky and that we will keep talking. But I honestly was like, yeah, okay, we'll see if this guy actually sticks to what he says. I was like, there goes my dream man out the window. He leaves. My sister ends up calling me right after that, and she's like, where have you been this whole long weekend? And I was like, oh, I met this guy. I am so into him, but of course he doesn't live here. And she was like, oh, great. To my surprise, he got back to Kentucky and he pretty much immediately FaceTimed me and we talked for hours. That continued on for a week. We spent hours on FaceTime together every single day. And then finally, he asked if he could fly me out to Kentucky to visit. I seriously love this new cream contour stick I just got. I was like, heck yeah, you know what? I'm really feeling like I'm into this guy. I go and visit for a week and it goes absolutely amazing. We have the best time together. This continues on for the next few months. We start dating long distance, having our FaceTime dates, and I fly to Kentucky and stay there for different week-long trips. Things were just going so great. I felt we clicked on a different level that I had never clicked with anybody else before. I just wanted to say hi really quick and be in the get ready with me. One day I just got back from Kentucky after seeing him and I knew that he was throwing a pool party with his friends. He FaceTimed me while they were all together and he was like, I wish you were here. And I of course wished that I was there too. I wanted to be there and spend time with him. I'll never forget, I remember the service started getting really bad and I could just tell he was so frustrated that we couldn't talk and we couldn't be together. I was just like, yeah, that's one of the unfortunate things of doing and dating long distance. A few days went on and I could just tell he seemed off to me ever since that conversation. I remember he called me up for our afternoon daily FaceTime and immediately the vibe was just different and he told me that he didn't think that we should continue seeing each other because he couldn't deal with the distance. It was just too much and he didn't see how it was going to work in the long run. Guys, I was devastated. I was hysterically bawling. I just didn't understand that if the only problem was distance, how eventually we couldn't fix that. Eventually, we hang up the FaceTime and he said that he feels like he needs some time to think about if there's any way that this distance thing could work. And I'm immediately like, okay, well, if distance is the problem, you know what? I just feel like I need to see you in person. I just want to go there. So I call up my family and I tell them what's going on, and never in a million years did I feel like they were all going to be supportive and be like, yeah, fly out there. But they were. My dad was actually like, if you think that he could be the one, you know, risk it for love and do it and you never know. And I was like, okay, I guess we're all just a family of hopeless romantics. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I book the ticket and I get on the red eye and immediately head out to Louisville. I land and I rent a car and drive over to his house. Well, I drove around the corner and I literally sat there for probably 5 hours because I was so scared to like get out and go over to his house. And 5 hours is literally not an exaggeration. I walk up to the door. I'm like, let's talk. And he was like, all right, like, let's chat. He was definitely surprised to see me. That is for sure. I basically tell him that if distance is the only reason we're not together, like, let's try to work it out. Let's see what we can do. And he was like, all right, you know what? I agree. Like, let's try to make this work and figure this out. So I stay in Louisville for the next 3 days, and we are trying to figure out the logistics of what we're going to do about long distance. The day before I'm supposed to leave, I wake up in the morning and I decide to go on a run. Get back from my run and he is sitting outside and I just immediately knew something was not right. I walk over to him and I ask what's wrong, and he pretty much just tells me that he is getting cold feet and does not think that this is going to work. The lip stain is on. I was completely devastated and so heartbroken, but I remember I just walked inside and I packed up my stuff, of course, while hysterically being nuts, and then got on a flight to head back. And once I did, I immediately blocked him and I was like, yeah, I am so devastated and hurt. Like, I'm probably never going to see this man again. Heartbreak is just literally the worst thing ever. Now let's fast forward 3.5 years. I probably left him blocked for at least that first year because I just could not see or didn't even want the chance to be able to reach out to him. Eventually, as time went on, I unblocked him, but we really never spoke and kind of just went on with living our lives. Over those years, honestly though, I thought about him all the time. I had like notebooks of journal entries about him, and I really never felt like I met anybody else that I meshed with on the same level as him. So it's just a constant thought in my mind. Then all of a sudden, one day in 2024, I had a text message from him reaching out, just seeing how I was. We started to chat, just talk about life, kind of catch up a little bit because it had been so many years. Then things continued on like that for quite some time. We weren't talking every day, but we were talking pretty often. Finally, I was like, you know what? I got to say something to him. I need to know what the heck is going on. Like, what are we doing talking all the time? So I kind of ended up asking. I'm like, what are we doing? We're talking a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to keep doing this if I know my feelings are going to get involved. Telling me he always has thought of me over the years and always wondered what could have been. And I end up kind of telling him the exact same thing. Of course, there was still distance. He was in Kentucky and I was in Arizona. I wake up the next morning after this chat and I check my text messages and I see that he sent me a stub to a plane ticket that he booked to Arizona to come visit me. I was like slightly stunned and couldn't believe it, but I was also secretly like so excited. He ends up getting to Arizona and it's like no time has passed. We had the most perfect time together. Everything was great. And I was like, here we go again. I just know how into this man I am. To make a long story short, after that trip, we had discussions and we really decided we were going to go all in, even though we had long distance and put a bunch of effort into this relationship. We got back together. We were doing distance and it was working out great. We ended up finding out eventually that we were expecting a little boy. So now we live together. We are in Kentucky. We have a beautiful home and family, and we just had a little boy 5 weeks ago. Truly, I couldn't be happier. So there is a happy ending sometimes.
Am I wrong for not chipping in for a Gucci bag or a 3,000-pound birthday dinner I didn't plan? I, 29 female, and my husband, 35 male, are part of a close group of friends. We're all in our late 20s to mid-30s. Most of us are married or in serious relationships, and we usually celebrate birthdays together. The usual setup has always been that the birthday person hosts and pays for everyone. But about a year ago, this weird new tradition started. For each birthday, someone opens a WhatsApp group and says, let's all chip in for this really expensive gift. We're talking about things like Hermes flip-flops, Formula One tickets, Gucci bags. It's all very public and a bit uncomfortable to say no. My husband and I have always gone along with it, even though it's felt a bit much at times. For example, we paid around 300 pounds towards a 1,500-pound Formula One ticket for my husband's best friend. Let's call him Tom. At the time, it felt okay, but now things are different. We're already parents to one child. We're trying for a second, and we just opened a new business which we fully funded from our own savings. Everyone in the group knows this, including Tom. We're doing fine financially, but we're definitely being more careful. These expensive group gifts are not something we feel comfortable doing anymore. A few weeks ago, it was my husband's birthday. One of the friends asked if I was going to open a WhatsApp group for a gift. My husband didn't want anything. We hosted everyone for a pool party, paid for everything ourselves, and we were happy to do it. For the record, Tom gave my husband a nice bottle of tequila worth around 100 pounds. We appreciated it. I'm not complaining at all. I've never judged or compared gifts, and I've been genuinely grateful for every single one, no matter the price. 2 weeks later, it was Tom's girlfriend's birthday. He opened a group chat and said she would like a Gucci bag. I told my husband I didn't want to participate in this one. He agreed. We didn't reply in the group, but we both bought her a 120-pound massage voucher as a gift. Her birthday was held at a really fancy and expensive beach restaurant. We went, enjoyed the event, had fun, and made sure the birthday girl had a blast. A few days later, Tom wrote in the group chat that the bill was 3,000 pounds and said that if anyone would like to contribute, they could. I told my husband I didn't want to chip in. We didn't choose the place. We gave her a gift. And again, we're being more mindful about money right now. He obviously agreed. Then Tom messaged my husband privately and said he expected us to help with the dinner bill since we didn't join the group gift. He said our 100-pound gift wasn't enough. Brought up the fact that he had always participated before, including for his Formula One ticket, and said we were being jerks for not pitching in at all this time. I honestly don't understand it. I've never once complained about the gifts we got. I've always been thankful, but suddenly we're being labeled as the rude ones just because we made a different choice this time based on our current situation. So, am I the asshole?